Oh my god, all my animals are sick and I don't know what to do about. Somebody, pet tubers, help. All right, no, that's not how this works. You need a vet. Hey, what's up guys, it's Mike with Alpha Reptile, back with another video today. Today is a video that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and in today's video we're going to be going over the importance of vets over influencers or pet tubers. Now if you guys don't already follow me, if you're new to my channel, I make reptile content. I have a bunch of different animals in my room, and if you aren't following me on Instagram, links somewhere on the screen. Merch is also down below for you guys to check out if you're interested. Also, new merch coming soon. Due to the whole situation of the world right now, I think more people are being home and being more attentive to their animals. So with that comes an influx of messages to my DMs on both Instagram, some on YouTube comments. And I think I share this with a lot of other people on the internet. I get messages quite frequently, at least several times a week, being like, hey, my animal might be sick. What can I do about it? Hey, I have a veiled chameleon. It's not looking so good. Or hey, what do you think of my chameleon? It seems off. And you know, I understand this influx. You are either new to the hobby, you just got your first animal, you have a leopard gecko or a bearded dragon, or you impulse bought a veiled chameleon, and here you are. Something happens, or it's looking wrong, or you happen to post on Facebook and people are losing their mind over how sick your animal is. So, naturally, you look for an answer. You turn to the internet, you see, wow, this guy has a lot of reptiles, or wow, this girl has a lot of reptiles. Let's turn to her for advice. That's where you go wrong. Unfortunately, a lot of us, including myself, I'm not putting myself on some pedestal saying that I'm better than everybody and I know everything, because I don't. Sure, I know a couple common illnesses and causes of them in a lot of reptiles, but I'm certainly no expert on reptile medicine or anywhere close to that. So we might have a little bit more experience than you guys with a certain animal or just with animals in general, and it's logic that you would turn to us and say, hey, what's up? What's wrong with my animal? And that's the problem. That's what's wrong. A lot of times that's where the message stops. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys what information to include if you have to reach out to an influencer. If somebody tells you on Instagram or on Facebook, hey, your chameleon looks like trash, then you go to the vet, because chances are it's already going to be probably too late, especially in the realm of chameleons. In case you guys didn't catch on yet, I'm going to be using chameleons a lot in this just because it's really easy to tell when something's wrong. They're lethargic, their eyes are closed, their eyes are sunken. A lot of it has to do with their eyes and their eye turrets. Now with you guys reaching out, it makes sense. I get it, I've done it, we all have done it. I'm not trying to bully you into thinking that it's bad. It certainly does become an issue though if you're turning to influencers, or I hate that word, but influencers or pet tubers or whatever on the internet for your advice and not willing to go to a vet. If you don't have the money to go to a vet, that's a whole nother conversation I'm not going to go into in this video. There's a lot of big YouTubers, Taylor Nicole Dean, Paul Cafaro.
This water's probably just right there at 68 to 70 degrees.
Nick Bingo. All these people, I'm just going to say it, are idiots. For the most part, they're just kids that have a YouTube channel that buy animals willy-nilly, don't know how to take care of them. Lots of them die, they give away lots of them. Some of them just disappear and you don't ever know what happens to them. And that is the issue. Turning to those kinds of people that I mentioned and them being able to give you a straight answer. If you talk to somebody, you'll know their experience level by how they answer you. If you just say, hey, my chameleon's sick, what can I do about it? And they say, okay, well, you're gonna need to, and they give you a whole regime on how to fix it, that's an inexperienced person. With more questions being asked, their level of experience is probably higher because they know, hey, my chameleon's sick, isn't enough information to diagnose anything. Stay away from asking those huge influencers who really have no idea what they're talking about. There are a lot of YouTubers with good knowledge. If you want to ask me, go for it. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody or worse than anybody. That's just my hot take. All right, so now that I've thrown some shade at some of the big YouTubers, you know, this is my peak right here. I did want to give you guys some actual practical tips. If you have to reach out to YouTubers, here's 5 tips to reach out to people that are on the internet, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. These are universal. The number 1 tip is provide as much information as possible. You need to provide things like temperature, humidity, feeding, what you're feeding, how often, and along with feeding is supplementation. So things like what supplement are you using? How often are you using it? And finally, we need to know if you have UVB. If you do, what kind of UVB? Whatever you're providing, we need to know. And kind of a sub tip in there is making sure you have the right tools to measure these things. So you kind of need a thermometer. A temp gun is what I recommend. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are interested to buy one. They're like 15, 20 bucks and worth their weight in gold. And if you don't happen to have those tools or don't know what your schedules are, that's something you're definitely going to need to figure out before you reach out to us or before you even go to a vet, because a good vet will definitely check on what the heck you're doing for your animal. If you walk in there and you're just kind of sitting there like, well, I don't know what my temperature is, or I think it's around 70, or maybe it's just 75. The vet's going to look at you and be like, now that we've covered your cage parameters, we need to move on to the second tip, and that is some history about the animal. Is it your first animal? Have you had them before? Has it been owned by anyone else before you and you got it secondhand? That'll just give us some information on whether you brought it up in a way that could have brought this on, or if it's totally out of your control and you had no idea how it was raised. Basically just anything notable from its past. Has it laid eggs? Has it had trouble eating? Whatever you can think of that might be valuable, let us know. Number 3 is one that isn't as common, you might not think about, but where you got it from. Whether it was a reputable breeder or like a reptile importer or whatever. The fact of the matter is a lot of reptiles are wild caught and they might not be advertised that way. I've worked at pet stores since I was 14 years old, and I would say probably 80% of the animals there are all wild caught. If it's anything except like a corn snake, a ball python, a bearded dragon, or a leopard gecko, its chances of being wild caught are pretty high. Number 4 is know your reptiles. Reptiles are adapted to hide illnesses as best as they can and then basically express them when it's too late. So in a chameleon's case, sunken in eyes, it being very lethargic, it having its eyes closed, those are all signs that mean your chameleon probably has anywhere from like a day to less than a week to live. That's super sad and super harsh to say, but I've experienced it. My girlfriend has experienced it. Many people I know have experienced it. It's awful, and it's the reality. So know your animal, know when something's going wrong. If you don't have enough time to spend looking at your animals and kind of assessing them, you either A, probably have too many, or B, you shouldn't own animals. I'm going to keep that one nice, short, and sweet. Tip number 5 is we don't know everything. We might have a little bit more experience. We might have more experience with that specific animal or just with animals in general, but we certainly don't know everything. So we might just say, and honestly, if you're talking to somebody that's experienced enough, it should be go to the vet. I could give you some precautionaries, I can give you some preventatives, or maybe some things that will prolong the life of your animal, but without a vet, time's up. If we can't give you a real answer or we can't provide a full-fledged experience for you guys to go off of, don't get mad. We're trying to help you. We're just giving our experience and our knowledge to help you guys in your reptile keeping adventure. Bonus tip for you guys, be respectful. We're here to help. If you guys come off real hot and heavy and you're swinging the pitchforks at us, or I don't know, you're just being a dick, we're not going to help. I hate to say it, and maybe some people will. I know I'm not the nicest premier person on this planet, but I know myself, if somebody comes at me and starts screaming at me for giving them bad advice or whatever, like it happened many times at work. People or customers would come up and say, oh, well, this person told me this. And I just want to look at them and be like, all right, did you A, listen? B, who'd you talk to? Because that person could have had terrible advice to give you, and they might act like they know a lot, but they probably don't. Yeah, and I guess with that kind of bonus tip, be conscious of who you're asking. Some people will know more than others. If you're asking one of the big YouTubers, you're probably getting garbage advice from them, like the people I mentioned. A lot of those people are just, they don't know what they're doing. They have a large platform, so they're able to project their views onto the world, and a lot of people follow them, but they have no semblance of a clue of what they're doing. I'm going to say it. Shade has been thrown. That's what I'll leave. Now that we've covered the 5 tips, let's get to the main point of the video and just go to the vet. Honestly, it's the smartest choice for you. Going to the vet is, sure, it's going to cost money. That's what it does. The beauty with the vet is that they will have hands-on experience with animals like yours and your animal. You will be there in person with your creature who is sick, talking to them, showing them. They're just the best option. I have made several regrets as to going to the vet too late. And that's something that I've learned through my reptile keeping journey. That's something that I'm here to inform you guys of, is that it's just, in pretty much every scenario, it's the right thing to do. I mean, think about it. Most of the people on YouTube have either not finished high school or have finished high school with no further training. A vet has literally gone through 7 to 8 years, if not more, of experience past high school in university or college or whatever you want to call it to treat your animal. Why would you go to the high school education when you could go to infinite levels of education? It doesn't make sense to me. Take that for what you will. All right, this has been a ranty video. I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. The main point is don't reach out to social media people with zero information. Try and provide as much information as you can, and at the end of the day, the vet is the best choice. I know that that's most of the advice that I give to my followers when they ask me a question. Of course, I'll try and help them as best I can. I'll try and give them some, like I said, preventative measures or kind of postponing measures. At the end of the day, social media is to help people. I'm definitely willing to pass on my knowledge. If I know something, I'm not going to hold it back just for virtue that I know it and you don't. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to build a community of like-minded individuals who love to keep animals, like to push the envelope a little bit, and want to do what's best for their animals. So, with that being said, if you liked the video, smash the like button. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave them in the comment section for me down below. I'll try and reply to as many as I can. Let me know what experiences you have reaching out to people on the internet. And if you want to see more videos like this, of course, let me know down there as well. If you want to see more conversations of reptile keeping, click the subscribe button. If play Ding Dong Ditch with the doorbell next to it, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later, guys. Oh.